Today I want to talk to you guys about a really cool tube light or wand light that I think is incredibly budget friendly and useful. I just had to buy it, sort of like circulating right now on YouTube. Every creator is raving about it and I can see why. It's the Viltrox K90 tube lights. I'm pretty happy with them so far. So I wanted to talk about this and kind of dive deeper into them, why I bought them, what they can do, how much they cost, and obviously why they're trending. So starting off, these are tube lights or wand lights. They do come in at 30 watts. So your expectations need to be set up front. 30 watts is plenty if you intend to use these like I intend to use them, which is background lights, scene lights, fill lights, mood lights, or even practical lights. Not necessarily to properly expose your scene, but to add character flavor, and they are RGB. Now, these come in at $230 currently on Amazon right now with a 10% coupon code. Let's start off with the unboxing because I want to talk about what you get in the package. And there's a caveat because I was missing 2 items in my packaging. So in the box, you are going to get 2 of the tube lights and 4 of the magnetic clips. These magnetic clips are clear, right? They're like clear plastic, but the magnets are actually very, very strong. I'm really happy with the magnetic clips. They clip on the tube lights, really simple, and there's multiple locations that you can grab onto the tube lights. I'm not sure why they went with clear clips or see-through clips. I'm used to seeing like black clips or whatever, so maybe that's something to do with bouncing off light or keeping them hidden or whatever. So far I found it to be very useful. You can clip them onto almost anything and they will hold the light securely. Back to the unboxing real quick. I was supposed to get 2 USB-C cables and there was no cables included in my packaging. I looked all over. If you guys can tell me in the comments, I don't see a zipper or a pouch or anything inside of the bag where the cables would be. So maybe I'm overlooking something, but so far I don't have any cables. So that was something that was missing in my packaging. So here's the bag that I'm talking about. It's actually a great bag. And one more thing that I wanted to note, I do appreciate that it's not a tight fit. There's plenty of room in here. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but one of my pet peeves, like when you're buying a tripod, for example, or other lights and manufacturers include a bag or a case and it's like the exact dimensions of the product and it's a chore just getting the product back in there and squeezing it in there with absolutely no room. There is a con though with the bag, and we'll get to the pros and cons later. So let's talk about some of the specs real quick, and I have them in front of me here, and some of the specs that I want to highlight, like I mentioned before, they're about 38 inches in length. Now they do offer 2 different models. There's a K60 which comes in at 22.8 inches, and that one is actually going to be about 20 watts. So you are losing a little bit of power. Now, they do have a CRI of 97 plus. The specs say that you can control them by an app and remotely through a remote control that has 2.4 Gs. You also have 26 scenes or effects that are included or built into the tube lights, and then they have a color temperature of 2500K to 8500K. In case you're wondering and you want to buy a power bank, these do run at 14.8 volts at 3300 mega amps. Going back to the CRI and the TLCI of greater than 97, that's a pretty big claim. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't have a device to measure it. What I can tell you is I am happy with the colors, and there is no like flickering or anything like that. What you see right now is what you get. And for what I'm using them for, it's perfect. They're also dimmable from 0 to 100. Right now, I think I have them both at 7%. So you can get really low with these, and that's great. It's not like, you know, some other lights where once you get under 10%, it just shuts off. You can dim them really low. Let's talk about the power a little bit more. So they are saying that these are 30 watts. There's 488 lamp beads, and then you're going to get 2550 lux at about a half of a meter. So that's the maximum illumination. That's actually plenty. I have them right now at 6%, and they're doing a fantastic job. I also use them to light products and certain scenes, right? To light a scene, like I said. I found it pretty powerful. So if you're asking, is 30 watts enough? That's a question you have to answer for yourself. But personally, yes, I think 30 watts is pretty good. I mean, it's not amazing, right? But 30 watts is plenty for the price and value that you're getting here. We're going to be using these real soon for a workout video. I actually bought them for two reasons. One, to use in clientele videos as, background lights or mood lights and so forth, and to spice up my talking head a little bit because they do add a nice flavor, nice touch. Look for that in a couple of weeks, but we'll be shooting a workout video. We'll be using these lights. I'll probably buy another 2 sets, but if you have specific questions or things you really want me to focus on, leave me a comment below now and I'll make sure to touch up on it when we get to the workout video. So it says that you can use a remote using 2.4 Gs to control these, but I think more importantly, and a lot of people are going to like this, you can control them both on the display, which is perfect, and through an app. So how's the app? The app is very simple, but it's a good app. So you do have to download a very specific app. It's the Viltrox Link app. Once you download it, there's like a demo group or scene thing that's set up. You can delete it or customize it. But what I really like about it is simplistic, but that can be a good thing. You can set up your own scene list and then add lights to that scene and then control a certain scene. So I have a talking head scene that I've set up. Both lights are in there and I can control them, right? I can turn them on and off as I please. I can have both of them off. See, it looks a lot better with both of them on, right? And then you can control every aspect of the light. You can change the colors, for example, right? And or you can set presets within each light. So I have a preset that I call Talking Head 1. And this preset just changes the color back to 180 degrees. And then you can also control each aspect of the features of each light. So you can change them back to a certain color temperature and just control that. And then you can also control the effects. So we can add a flashing effect, for example. We can add a pulse. I don't mean to get anybody queasy. Or a chase. Let's see if we can do party. There's your party scene right there. Welding, maybe. A burst. You can also change the speed of everything, right? You can increase the speed. So this is fireworks. Let's do a flame. So here's the flame. We can change the intensity. Oof, that's really bright. So you can see that they get really, really bright. And then what's great about them is you can set this up for both of them, right? If you wanted to do this for both tube lights, you can. It's simplistic, but you do control it in almost every aspect. And I mean, to be honest with you, it's a very good start. There's a lot more that they can do to clean it out and make it a little bit better. And I think it's just it's a matter of time. I'm sure the manufacturer will improve on this as they go. I keep playing with this. Something else that I'm noticing right now is it's pretty fast, right? It's snappy. It's not like I'm not waiting 1,000 years for this thing to respond. That's a great thing if you're on a set. Someone can just go ahead and control it. So overall, the app is pretty good. I'll put the specs on the screen for exactly how long they're rated to last. The other thing that I've noticed is they are fast charging, but not like super fast. Like you're not going to be able to charge them from 0 to 100 in an hour, but I think they charge relatively quick. Now let's talk about the cons. Okay, so the first con that I have is I wish they would have came with the remote. I know, but that would have been the little cherry on top for me. If they would have came with the remote and just gave you every possibility right out of the box to control these things, that would have just been perfect. The next con that I personally have is actually with the bag. So the bag is great, and I'm glad they included it. These little straps are so annoying, right? Putting the tube lights in is fine, but when you're taking them out, you unstrap one and then you go to unstrap the other one and then it locks back in on you and then it's caught and it's like you're fighting with it. It's not a super, negative thing, and I'm kind of nitpicking. This may or may not be a con to you, but hey, the clips are clear. I mean, if you're doing a dark scene like this and you're trying to hide them, I think black would be better. I mean, you can't see them right now, to be fair. And then finally, the last con that I'm going to mention, and this is again subjective, but could be a con to you, they are only 30 watts. So if you are looking for something brighter, 60 watts at least, then this may not be the product for you. If you are looking for a high watt wand or tube light, Then I also reviewed the Jiyun Cine Pier, and I forget the other one, the C100, which is a 100-watt light, and it was truly 100 watts. That thing is also RGB, way shorter though. I mean, you're not going to get like, you know, this, but it's pretty cool because you can get it in really tight places and it's plenty bright to completely light a scene. And I'm not talking about background lighting. I mean, you can use it as a main light. I like to use it in cars, in tight spaces where I need to light a subject in a car, and we're just going to stick it on the dashboard and let it light the subject fully. So that's a different animal. It's also more, $100 more, or maybe $200 more expensive than this package, and you're only getting one. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can go watch it. Those are excellent lights. But again, I don't think these lights are trying to compete with the Jiyun. They're just in a different class. That's it for me, guys. I hope you found this video informative, and if you did, please consider subscribing and joining our channel memberships. I'll catch you in the next video.